What's up, everybody? In the past, I've done a FAQ video about Funko and I've done a FAQ video about myself. You see here, I'm combining both of those basically, and I am going to basically update this because I know that I've had a lot of new subscribers over the past couple of months, and some people have some questions that I've seen repeatedly. Basically, I just want to make sure I go ahead and address these, and this will give me this video that I can direct people to if they have any questions that I cover within this video. And also, for those of you checking this out, if you see some people that have some of these general questions, you can direct them towards this video as well to help me out in that way. But I'm going to go ahead and jump right into this. I do have a lot to cover here, but I'm going to try to be very quick with most of my responses here. So first of all, what was the first pop I ever bought? Some people definitely asked this question, and the first pop I ever bought was Morgan from The Walking Dead, and I bought my very first pop. It was the day after Christmas, December 26, 2015. So that's when I officially became a Funko Pop collector, and I went with Morgan from The Walking Dead just because I was very much a fan of the character, and I still am to an extent a fan of the character. What's my favorite pop and what's my most valuable pop? The answer is actually the same for both of these questions. Notorious B.I.G. This was a grail of mine early on in collecting, and I was lucky enough to actually be able to get this pop a couple of months into collecting thanks to the help of a viewer, a subscriber that became a friend. So yeah, he helped me out with this pop, and I'm very glad to have that within my collection. So again, it's my favorite pop and also my most valuable pop. And if I could only have one pop at all, this would definitely be it. Next up, what are my favorite series to collect? I'm very big into DC, Marvel, and then horror characters as well. So this is what I mainly focus on, but I don't limit myself. If something looks good to me, I go for it. Or if something is based off of a movie that I like or a book that I like, whatever it is, I go with what appeals to me in general. But these would be the main main series that I focus on. What's my least favorite pop? If you've seen my Funko Pop roast, I started off with Dogon, so there's no surprise there. That's my least favorite pop. But I'm not that type of collector that knocks what other people are into or basically says that it shouldn't exist because I'm not a fan of it. So if people are into Dogon, that's cool. Whatever you're into, that is absolutely fine. But me personally, I just don't like the look of the character. I didn't like the confusion with the Chase variant. So yeah, that's why I tease the character the way that I do. But again, I'm not going to say that the pop doesn't deserve to exist, but it is my least favorite. How many pops do I own? This is a number that fluctuates on a regular basis. I actually think the same is true for most collectors, but I'm gonna just guess and say that it's got to be over 400. I actually haven't done a count in a while, and I really don't bother with it just because the number changes so often. Pops come and go. So yeah, I'm just gonna say over 400 pops in my collection. What are my grail pops as of right now? And I do want to stress this before I even answer this question, that my attitude about collecting, I think most people know it by now, is I definitely feel like you can't have it all, and you really don't need to have it all anyway. So if I don't add these to my collection, that's okay. It's kind of nice just to have something out there anyway that I'm constantly pursuing. But these would be my current grails: Buff Rick and Buff Summer, of course, from Rick and Morty. I actually wasn't into that series yet when that became available, so I missed out on it. In a way, I missed out on it, but at the same time, I didn't have a reason to go for it because I wasn't into the series yet. But now that I am a fan of the series, and I really do like that after credit scene there that it's based on, I would like to have that in my collection someday, but if I don't get it, I can live with that. The Monkey King figures, I do have 4 of the variants, and I kind of would like to complete that at some point. So I don't have the yellow Monkey King, I don't have the stone Monkey King, or the black and gold Monkey King. Now, some of these have been available online and for reasonable prices at times, but I just haven't gotten around to getting them, partly because I tend to be focusing on the main wants that I have, which are, and they're more readily available, like the Marvel and DC pops. But then also, I put a lot into my channel with giveaways and things like that, so sometimes I just don't get around to my own personal grails. Also here, Walter from The Big Lebowski. I'm a big fan of that movie, and I love John Goodman's character in that movie. I've seen this pop in store before, but it had a really bad paint job and the box was damaged, so I passed up on it. And the value of that has actually been steadily increasing, surprisingly, but I guess that's because it's getting harder to find it. But yeah, I really do like the character. That's the main reason I want the pop, and of course I do have the dude from that movie in my collection. And then the purple chrome Thanos. I just really love that movie. Infinity War, I think that's kind of obvious thing to say. I think most people that saw that movie really enjoyed it. But yeah, I really love the portrayal of Thanos there, and that's a very cool looking pop figure. I'm not like crazy over Chrome. I don't feel like need to have a bunch of Chrome pops in my collection, but that purple Thanos, that's one that would be nice to have at some point. So what pops would I like to see made? I used to do a lot of videos about pops that I'd like to see made, but Funko covers so much now, I really don't even feel like it's necessary, because a lot of things that I want to see or have either already been made or they're on the way. For example, there's the rumor that Wu-Tang Clan pops are on the way, which I hope that turns out to be true. So yeah, there's a lot on the way from Funko. That's why I really don't worry about doing that so much anymore. But I still would like to see Afro Samurai. I know that's a long shot. Same thing with Ninja Scroll. Even though that's a classic anime, it could be kind of a long shot for Funko. And then as far as TV characters are concerned, Omar from The Wire, I think would look really cool as a pop figure with his bulletproof vest on, the shotgun, the long trench coat, all of that. He's just like a modern day cowboy, so that'd be a very cool pop figure. But again, I know all of these are pretty much long shots, but they would be very cool to see. Next up here, will Funko make pops based on Nintendo, Seinfeld, The Office, etc.? It's flattering that some people think that I know everything about Funko, but as I say at the beginning of Funko News, I'm not a Funko employee, so I don't know what Funko is going to do. I can't really answer those questions. Sometimes I will speculate. I don't even like to speculate anymore. I mean, I just like to wait and see what Funko is up to, which licenses they are able to obtain. So I can't tell you what Funko is going to do in the future. It'd be pure speculation, and like I said, I really don't even bother to speculate anymore. I like to just wait and see what the company is going to do. So next here it says, how do I increase my odds of finding chase figures and exclusives? This question, I honestly don't get it as much as I used to, but I still want to address this though. So first of all, I think it's important to get to know when your local stores receive their pops. Now, some stores are not going to tell you. For example, Hot Topic is becoming very tight-lipped, and that's because of some issues that they've had with some collectors. So I'm going to say this as well, like, don't be upset with these stores when you call or you go in and you kind of get some attitude and they don't want to tell you when certain pops are coming out. It's because they have people hounding them. That's what it comes down to. So you may not be that type of person, but they do deal with a lot of collectors that can be rude and overbearing. So I understand what these companies are dealing with and what these stores are dealing with. So just, kind of be mindful of that. But still though, you can try to learn the stores, just go in on a regular basis, get a feel for when you see new things on the shelves, and try to be there on those days when you know they're getting new figures in. Also, if you don't see something on the sales floor, of course, you can kindly ask an employee about the figures. They may know when it's coming in, whether they're going to get it or not, or they may know of, that they have it in the back. So, yeah, just kindly ask the employees. Don't just walk out of the store upset. Make sure you speak to somebody. Also, when you order with online retailers, some online retailers give you a chance at a chase figure. And I know I've been lucky here and there with Hot Topic and Entertainment Earth. Of course, I don't get a chase every time, but it's nice to have that chance to be able to get a chase figure. So that's something else that you could consider. And pre-order exclusives when you can. Instead of taking the gamble, especially if it's something that you really want, instead of taking that gamble in the store, do the pre-order online if you can, or do the pre-order in the store if you can. Because you got to remember as well that there are some stores that will not get certain figures unless they have pre-orders on them. And I know what somebody's going to say. Let me go ahead and address this. If you pre-order something and you don't get your figure because it gets sold to another customer or an employee takes it, definitely follow up on that. File a complaint if you have to. Call, speak to a manager or speak to somebody even above the manager if you have to. Do follow up on that. Don't just be upset and then do nothing about it. Definitely follow up on that if your pre-order goes missing. And then finally here it says some online retailers sell chases directly and definitely more reasonable prices than some flippers. Now there are some websites that are supposedly legit businesses and they do sell chases at way marked up prices. Definitely be mindful of that. But then you have some companies that will just slightly increase the price on chase figures. So if you find the price to be reasonable, I would say go for it instead of burning up a bunch of gas and running from place to place trying to track down that chase. And by the time you get it, you basically blowing a bunch of money anyway. So that's up to you, to make that choice. And along with that, I'm going to go ahead and address this because I do get this sometimes. People will ask if I think they should buy a certain figure. I basically make buying decisions for Franklyn McInnis. I cannot make buying decisions for other people. So I stay away from that, because if something goes wrong with that purchase, I don't need anybody coming back at me upset. So I really steer clear of those questions when people try to get me to make buying decisions for them. I just can't do that. Next up here, this isn't necessarily a question. It's just something that I see in the comments almost every Funko news video, and I'm not exaggerating either. So a lot of people will say that my Target or my Walgreens or my Walmart, whatever it is, never gets exclusives, or the employees take them. Now, first of all, I just got to put this out there and be blunt about it. Complaining in the comment section does not solve anything. I see that way too often, and it's just not productive. It doesn't solve anything. And again, if you follow my channel for a long time, you notice that I stopped the soapbox videos, and honestly, I'm kind of feeling like I won't go back to them because I don't feel like they're always productive, so that's my attitude about it. Don't complain if you're not going to actually try to do something to make a difference. So this is my advice to you all, is to do customer surveys. Do customer surveys. Let the company know what issues you have with your local stores, and be honest with them. Of course, you don't want to exaggerate things, but let them know if you're seeing issues like employees taking the figures so that customers can't get them, or people holding figures just for their friends, whatever the issue is, again, or just in general, if they're not ordering enough of the figures that you're interested in. Express yourself via the customer surveys. You can do that, and you can get a customer survey, like a link for it and the information about it, from a receipt. If you buy something, even if it's just something small in a store, you get the receipt, you'll have the information there. But there are some companies where you don't even have to make a purchase. They have a feedback section on their website, and you could give you some details there about your experience. So voice what is going on with your local stores. Like I said, complaining on YouTube is not going to make that difference. You really need to make sure that you do customer surveys and be honest with them. And then also order what you can online. It's kind of confusing to me when people say, I haven't seen anything at such and such store in months. Well, if it goes online and it's just sitting there, go for it. If you can catch it online, definitely do that. Now, moving on here, some people have asked why I don't share links as often as I used to. And it's because if I feel like something is easy to find and you as a collector should be able to go to a website and find it, then I'm not going to share the link. I try to share links now if I feel like it's something that might sell out or pre-sell out quickly, or if I feel like the link is if it's something that's difficult to find on the website, then I might share a link. But other than that, I want to be a help to the community. I don't want to be a crutch to the community. There's a big difference there. So I don't want people to completely lean on me, because it's not as if I'm going to do this forever. I don't know how long, I'll be doing this on YouTube and how long I'll be doing Funko News. So when I'm not doing this anymore, I don't want any collectors to feel like they're completely lost and they can't track down things on their own. So again, I'm not trying to be a crutch for the community. I want to help the community. So again, like if I say something new is on Hot Topic's website, and nobody should really have to ask me for a link. Just go to Hot Topic, go to Funko, and you'll find it 9 times out of 10. So that's my attitude about links. Next up here, some people have definitely asked why I added the notice at the beginning of Funko News. I think it's kind of self-explanatory from the things that the notice says, but I will address this quickly. First of all, I did that to address some questions that I get repeatedly. And then also, there were, and this is a very small percentage of people, very small percentage, but I have had some people that try to blame me for their failures and their bad luck when it comes to collecting. I've had people that try to blame me for shipping issues and things like that. Just very childish comments. So I put that information up front to let people know, again, I'm responsible for my collection. I can't be responsible for everybody's collection. I can't collect for other people. So I put that notice up front just to put that out there that I'm trying to help, but I cannot be held accountable for everybody's collection. Also, I want people to know that I started collecting to help me cope with anxiety. So if I have people that I feel that are trying to stress me out by asking questions repeatedly, spamming the comments, I have some people, every video they put the same comment. And, it's just unnecessary, or they put the same question, I should say, or they say Funko should do this, Funko should do that again and again and again. These types of things that I find to be kind of stressful and kind of aggravating, irritating, whatever you want to call it, that's got to go. So I do want to give people fair warning before I block them. I want to try to be reasonable, but when it comes to people that are trying to stress me out, and that does include people that try to dictate what I can and can't do on my channel, they just got to go, because I don't need that type of stress. Like I said, I got into collecting to try to help to cope with anxiety, to have something basically to keep me occupied and keep me from sitting around just stressing. So that's why it is important to me to get rid of those negative elements. And like I said, that notice, I consider that the fair warning up front for people. So that's why it's there. If it doesn't apply to you, then I really feel like you have no reason at all to be offended by that notice, though. That's the way that I look at it. And recently, some people have asked why I don't show my likes and dislikes anymore. It's mainly because I don't personally want to focus on likes and dislikes constantly. I just don't think it's that serious. The people that are really loyal to my channel and really supportive of my channel, I know that they like the videos, and I know that helps the videos. I definitely appreciate that. But I just don't want to constantly worry about likes from people that basically never take the time to like the videos. I'm not going to stress over that. I'm lucky enough that I do have hundreds of people that make sure that they drop likes on the video, that very simple way of supporting my channel. So I definitely want to focus on appreciating that instead of focusing on the likes that I'm not getting. So just having them hidden is a way for me not to worry about them as much. Final question here, and I'm going to address this very quickly. Will I do a face reveal? I'm going to be very blunt with this one. I've said this many times before that I have been in front of the camera before on my channel. I just don't feel like it's necessary to do that anymore for the type of content that I have. So I have been in videos before, and I just don't feel like it's necessary anymore. And also, 10 times out of 10, when somebody asks me about a face reveal, it's a guy. And I got to be honest, I don't understand that. I just really do not get that. I don't understand why there are these guys that are obsessed over trying to see me. I've even had guys that are creepy enough to go trying to find my pictures and private messaging me in the middle of the night talking about pictures. It's really weird to me, and it just honestly creeps me out. So I hope that some people, and this is a very small number of individuals, I hope some people will be more aware of how they come across when they do things like that. And if some guys are behaving that way with me, I would hate to see the way that they behave and interact with women. So yeah, I don't understand what is going on with that, but like I said, I'm not going to change my mind on it. I don't feel like being in front of the camera really adds anything to my content. I feel like the content is fine the way that it is, and I do try new ideas on my channel, so it's not like I'm not trying to evolve the channel in any way. But being in front of the camera, like I said, I just don't feel like it's really necessary, so that's why I don't worry about it anymore. But I had been in front of the camera in plenty of old videos, so I mean, that's all I could pretty much say about that. So the face reveal thing, I wish some people would just get over that and stop being kind of obsessive about it, because that's the way it comes across with some individuals, and that's unfortunate. So that's going to do it for this video. I hope everybody got something out of it. I'm sorry I had to get kind of negative at some points, but I want to be real with you all and make sure that you really know me as a person, and that there is a reason and to the things that I do, and the way that I carry myself on my channel. There's a reason behind it. I want to be real with you all about who I am. But yeah, like I said, I hope everybody got something out of this. Thank you all so much for watching. And if you want to answer some of these questions and share some information about yourself with me and members of the community, then go ahead in the comments. You could let us know things like, what was the first pop you got, when you started collecting, how many pops you have right now, what are your current grails, anything that you want to share with the community, because I know there are other people that check out these comments as well, so that's up to you. Whatever you feel comfortable with sharing, go ahead and do so. I definitely will be checking out the comments myself. But thank you all so much for watching. It is truly appreciated, and I will talk to you all again real soon.